Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Moak. Just recently, for our technical writing class, my group and I finished a request for proposal paper. We were asked to pick an issue that was going on around us to create this paper. The issue my group decided to work with was Canvas discussion boards. I created this presentation to tell you all a little bit about our project. For those who have never used or heard of Canvas, here is a little background. Canvas is one of many learning management systems out there. It was developed by Instructure Incorporated and will be the main learning management system used at BYU Idaho this coming fall, or so I've been told. Currently, BYU Idaho has been testing Canvas out with some of its classes, and I was fortunate enough to have one of my classes beta testing a version. As BYU Idaho transitions to the new learning management system, students have found Canvas to have issues centered around discussion boards. Here is an example of a discussion board on Canvas. You have a student's post, replies to that post, and even an attachment. It looks simple and clean, right? Well, it is. But students, including myself, have found that the process of embedding images or videos from a student's computer into a post is very difficult. There is a way you can do it, but it is unknown to most students and takes a lot of extra effort on the student's part. This makes it difficult for students to share content with other students, which has frustrated many. Because of this, my group decided to create our proposal around this issue and come up with some solutions to the problem. These solutions include Arlen Wilcock of the BYU Idaho Faculty Technology Center petitioning that Canvas add this functionality to their discussion boards, or that Wilcock choose a third-party alternative to Canvas discussion boards instead. The alternative options we suggested were Slack, Discord, and Facebook groups. If a solution to the discussion boards is not found, students will continue to struggle to effectively communicate issues as complex as the electron transport chain or recursive functions, depending, of course, on the student's major. BYU Idaho has had a history of changing technologies, and with each change, students and teachers have been straddled with technological problems that make learning harder than it needs to be. In this presentation, I will give an overview of proposed alternatives, the functionality of each, and then show you why we chose the solution we did based on our collected data. Since there were 4 members in our group, we decided to split the alternatives up and each research that chosen topic. First is Canvas. As I already mentioned, Canvas was created by Instructure Incorporated as an education platform. It is based in Salt Lake City, Utah, and was started by 2 BYU Provo graduates. According to their website, Canvas is now used by over 3,000 schools and in many countries. Slack was created by Slack Technologies Incorporated and is based in San Francisco, California. It specializes in cloud-based collaboration tools. It is widely used in business environments with over 500,000 organizations and 65 of the Fortune 100 companies. It is said that Slack is the fastest growing business application in history. Valued at $5.1 billion, they invest all their efforts in their primary product, Slack. Discord is also based in San Francisco, California, and the concept for it came from Jason Citron. Originally designed for gameplay communication, Discord has added features into their product that may function as a discussion board. It has 14 million daily users with over 315 million messages sent daily. Last but not least is Facebook. Facebook is a billion-dollar company that is used for social networking. It was founded by Mark Zuckerberg, and in the beginning was used mostly by Harvard students, but it grew to include other higher education institutions. Now, anyone who is at least 13 years old can register to be a user. Facebook has many collaboration features, one of which is that users can create or join Facebook groups. These groups can be organized for hobbies, school discussions, or workplace collaboration. Once our initial research was complete, we completed a survey asking students questions regarding both discussion boards in general, and specifically the newer platform Canvas. This survey was given out over Facebook to both students on campus as well as online students. This information we gathered from this survey helped us understand the students' needs and preferences, as well as gauge the importance of finding an adequate alternative to the current system. The initial question we asked participants was to gauge their interest and preference in using discussion boards to complete assignments. The median response for this question landed at 2.75, on the lower side of average. Next, we wanted to see how many students had used Canvas for discussion boards, as well as some of the older platforms used by BYU Idaho. We also added each of our proposed alternatives. What we found was that most of the students we surveyed, 61%, had used Canvas to complete assignments. This is probably because BYU Idaho has a limited number of courses prototyping this new platform. iLearn 3.0 is the current version used by BYU Idaho, and iLearn 2.0 was the version before 3.0. What I found most interesting was that Facebook tied the amount of people who had used Canvas before. Another important result from our survey plainly showed us the most important features to students was the ability to follow threads. This feature comes with a variety of strengths, which improve the quality of experience for students. Being able to follow a thread means that you can receive notifications, be able to give meaningful responses to classmates, and better understand feedback provided. Other highly valued features included the functionality to easily add attachments, as well as easily add replies and receive notifications on replies. Together, these qualities make up a strong platform and help not only with assignment completion, but also course objective attainment. When creating the survey, we felt we should have a second question that would let participants select multiple features as important instead of just one. This painted a different picture of what the most valued features were. Amongst the top most important features were embedding images, easily adding attachments, and easily adding replies. While knowing what the single most important feature is to students, it is also very helpful to understand the full range of what a student values in functionality. It is paramount to being able to choose the best fit. Finally, we found after completing the survey that certain platforms were favored. From our collected data, it is evident that students preferred iLearn 3.0 over other platforms, but Facebook was a close second and Canvas a close third. In creating our recommendation, it was helpful to look at the features that were most valuable to students and compare each method's effectiveness in completing desired functions. The main features we compared were the ability to embed into a post or thread, attachments on both original posts and replies, functionality of threading, capacity to reply, ability to receive notifications, functionality of pinning a post, and the order of posts. First, we will talk about the ability to embed into a post or thread. In most discussion board assignments, the original post can include a document, image, or video to which others can reply and make recommendations about. The ability to embed a file, image, or video directly into a post itself is extremely helpful, so those looking over the original post don't have to download in order to view. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that some are able to embed and others can't. As already mentioned, this was the main problem we found with Canvas. Each of the other platforms can do this just fine. Next, we will talk about attachments. This feature is at the core of what discussion boards are. When the ability to embed fails or is non-existent, the attachment feature allows for the downloading of a file. When looking over each of the platforms, we found each could attach images and files to the original post, but when it came to attaching something on reply, Slack and Discord were lacking. Canvas can attach either files or images on reply, while Facebook can only attach images, not files. As a reminder, easily adding attachments was the second highest feature on both the important feature questions. Now we will talk about the functionality of threading. Threading is the ability to break discussion boards into different groups. This is important for organization and compartmentalization of content. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that each had this functionality. Next is the capacity to reply. Replies are posts that address other posts. Replies are often distinguished by indenting or other organizational methods that differ from regular posts. Having replies improve readability and interpretation of content flow. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that most had indenting of replies to 1 level, except Discord, which can't reply. Canvas was the only platform that allowed indefinite indenting of replies. Having this indentation really helps with the readability of discussions. The ability to receive notifications was an important feature to students. Notifications is a feature that informs participants of a thread when new comments on a subject are added. It is also important to stay up to date on new content as it is being added. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that all platforms had this feature. Functionality of pinning a post is another important feature. Some may not know it by this name though. Pinning allows users to place a specific post at the top of a discussion board, like pinning a piece of paper to attack or bulletin board. This is helpful for drawing attention to information that needs to be distributed broadly. One, for example, might pin the instructions to the top of a discussion board so that all know the requirements of the post. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that all platforms had the ability to pin as many posts to the board as they wanted. Something not mentioned in the table, though, is that only administrators can pin posts in Canvas and Facebook groups, while anyone can pin a post in Slack or Discord. I think restricting it to only administrative use is very important for discussion board functionality, so that the pinned posts remain uncluttered. The last feature we compared was the order of posts. Order is crucial to understanding the flow of the posts in a discussion board. This feature ultimately comes down to preference. Some prefer to see oldest post first, chronological, while others prefer to see newest posts to be first, reverse chronological. When looking over each of the platforms, we found that Slack and Discord displayed posts in reverse chronological order. Canvas displayed posts in chronological order, and Facebook could either be reverse chronological or recent activity, which basically means that it shows what was most recently posted or what was most recently replied to. Whew, that was a lot of features, but I will give a quick recap of the 4 that were different between each platform. The main difference between Slack and Discord is that Slack allows replies, while Discord doesn't. Facebook is different from Slack in that it has functionality to add attachments to replies and allows users to choose whether posts are displayed based on either recent activity or reverse chronological order. Canvas posts are displayed chronologically and cannot be easily embedded with content like Facebook can. Canvas does, however, allow indefinite indented replies and file and image attachment on each of those replies, while Facebook is limited to files only on posts. In conclusion, there is an obvious problem with Canvas discussion boards due to its inability to embed images and videos into a post or reply. Without this functionality, students struggle to share complex ideas with one another in meaningful ways. Based on our recommendation, we hope to be able to circumvent these issues so that students will enjoy better communication via discussion boards. And now, on to our recommendation. Based on the collected data, Canvas is not the best solution in its current state. The expected performance and favorability of Canvas over other technologies should be much higher for a technology upgrade than 1/6 of survey users. Slack and Discord are clearly not as widely used as the other options. This means that use of either requires a steeper learning curve than other alternatives that students are familiar with. Based purely on student preference, it would appear Facebook is the best solution. The feature comparison table also agrees with this assessment. Facebook groups allow embedding and has a myriad of options for personal preference of content organization. These considerations cause it to edge out other Canvas discussion board alternatives. Based on all these findings, we recommend Facebook groups as the best solution for Canvas discussion boards at BYU Idaho. Thank you for your time. I am now available to be able to answer questions.